two of my favorite things in the entire world are books and holidays. I love holidays. They're so much fun to celebrate. It's so much more fun when you're an adult to just kind of take time on purpose to make holiday more fun by dressing up for it or getting fun food or making sure you go watch fireworks or something like that. Because in America we have the 4th of July coming up, which is later this week, and I'm very excited. And I think last year sometime, it hasn't been quite a year because I know I didn't have it around 4th of July, I found this book at the thrift store called American Fairy Tales, From Rip Van Winkle to the Rutabaga Stories, and it's compiled by Neil Phillip and has illustrations and stuff in it. And I thought this would be very fun to read around the 4th of July because it's just cool. Like, number one, it's so very patriotic. Like, this is the perfect book to read on the 4th of July. But also, I love fairy tales. Like, they're one of my favorite things in the whole world, and I have a collection of just books of fairy tales that I found. Versions of like the Cinderella story, and I have young children's illustrated fairy tale books. Like, if they're in good condition at the thrift store, there's like a good chance that I'll buy it if I like the illustrations. So I just think it's fun to collect. So I think it'd be really interesting to read this because I think I've read Rip Van Winkle, like the actual Rip Van Winkle, yeah, by Washington Irving, that story. But I think I haven't read a lot of the other ones. Like, I haven't read Feathertop, I haven't read The Rich Man's Place, I haven't even heard of that. The Bee Man of Orne, The Apple of Contentment, I haven't heard of any of these. There's even one about a princess. How fun. Anyway, this will be fun to read. The other thing I wanted to do in this video, just, you know, flesh it out a little bit, because this ultimately is a very short book and I can finish it very quickly, but I thought it'd be interesting to kind of take turns reading this book and working on a shirt or a dress to wear to the 4th of July celebrations. Now, I do technically own some 4th of July clothes, but like, I don't want to wear them, you know? I want to wear a shirt that I don't have to wear something underneath. Here, let me show you what I made last year for 4th of July. So last year I took this top, which this used to be a dress that looked basically exactly the same as this, but it had layers, but it didn't really fit me anymore. And so I ended up adding an extra panel here and I made it fit me, and it is cute. Like, don't get me wrong, it's cute, but the problem is it just doesn't fit me anymore because I kind of grew out of it, and I don't want to just like get rid of it or give it to my sister because it wouldn't fit my sister because I made it to fit like me exactly. But I want to take this fabric because it's so 4th of July. It's got like these little red and blue, they look like fireworks, but they're like little triangle things on a white background. It's so cute. So I want to take this fabric and I want to make a dress or a shirt or something. I've been doing mock-ups. I'll show you my mock-up because for some reason I'm terrified of sleeves. So yesterday I forced myself to draft up a very bad, I'll admit it, this is such a bad draft, but I made a mock-up of kind of the idea of what I want to make. I'm probably going to make this sleeve obviously better. This is just a very trial sleeve. I'll probably add like a cuff so it's like puffy a little bit, and then I might make it a v-neck or something, but I just wanted to make sure that I could make what I want to make. I'm probably going to make this like 4 panels or something like that, cut it along here, add panels or something like that, but I needed a pattern, and so now I have the very rough idea of a pattern. I think I'm also going to take the back with elastic so it cinches a little bit tighter there, and then add not a very long skirt, but I think it is going to be a tiered skirt with several colors in it. I have some more of this fabric that was in the dress that I didn't end up using in here, so I can use that fabric to make it longer. And then I think I also have some blue fabric, and also I've been stealing my family's top sheets because none of us like to use top sheets. We have like 15 million in the laundry room, and so I can just steal whatever I want. And I'm pretty sure that there's a blue one and a red one that I can use. They might not be the same fabric, but if I'm making kind of like a patchwork kind of style dress, it doesn't matter. So I think that'd be fun. I can use that to kind of fill it out, make it look nice. But my goal here is to make a dress or a shirt that I don't have to wear anything underneath because 4th of July is so hot. It's so hot and I hate it. So I want to be able to wear it just by itself and I don't have to wear a shirt underneath or anything like that because I don't like wearing strapless stuff. I like to wear stuff with sleeves. So my goal is to make something I can wear and feel comfortable wearing all day long and not have to wear anything to adjust it to make it look the way I want it to look, I guess. I just want it to look the way I want it to look immediately. This is kind of a fear of mine, to make clothes. I don't know why. I've wanted to do it forever. I have the skills. I know how to sew. I know how to draft patterns, kind of. I'm learning how to do it. I kind of know how to do it. I'm not very good at imagining things in my brain, but you know, that's what using trash fabric is for, to make something that will work. So we're gonna work through this fear together and figure out how to do this. I know I can do it. I know I can do it. I'm just scared. But anyway, we're gonna bribe myself with fairy tales. All right, I am about I'm about one story in. I have read Rip Van Winkle before. I think in college I read it, did like literary analysis on it. And the next one in here is called Feathertop, and it's by Nathaniel Hawthorne. He wrote The Scarlet Letter, which is really interesting that he went on to write like fairy stories after that. Kind of an interesting dichotomy between those two works. I have also read The Scarlet Letter, I think last year? Yeah, last year sometime. And now I'm reading Feathertop, which is interesting. It's about a witch that turns not a skeleton, a scarecrow to life with evil powers. And I didn't get much far past that because I was being distracted by very loud music that was right next to me. But I did stop at an interesting part. I am intrigued to keep reading. So last night I gave you an update on reading the book, and for some reason last night I thought that it was July 2nd. 'Twas not. It was July 1st. I've been living an extra day this week, I'm pretty sure, because I'm so sure that I've lived July 1st twice or something. It is July 2nd today though. I've double checked like 4 times. But anyway, we're on doing stuff. So last night I was freaking out because I was like, oh no, I only have 2 more days left to do stuff. I need to work on it today so I don't have to like stress out about it tomorrow. So I stressed myself out unnecessarily because it was July 1st, but whatever. I was gonna work on altering this shirt I have so I could potentially wear it in case I wanted to, but I don't want to wear it. So we're not gonna alter this actually. I'll alter it later. So I've gone through and I've cut up my thing that I showed you, like my example piece that I made, into parts, and I labeled them as to where they are on the thing. I've kept the vest side so I can just recreate that, and then on obviously the back. The back is less stressful to me because that's going to be gathered with like elastic in the back, so it'll be stretchy and that'll be more forgiving with the pattern, but the front matters. So I have my 2 pattern piece things. I'm not sure how I'm gonna make a v-neck, but I had an idea. I had a very brilliant and smart idea. I was wishy-washying like back and forth between fabrics because I have a couple blue fabrics, but I have an idea of what I want to use them with, and it's not this dress. So I found a couple more stuff. I was gonna make a red, white, and blue dress, but I feel like if I just make a blue dress, like this is a pinstripe white and blue fabric, if I make a dress out of this and then I think with like dark blue accents, because these work together pretty well, and I think I have another blue that's even like in between the 2 colors, that would look really cute. Like I could have this as the bodice and then this as like lining, like on the sleeves maybe, because I really like this the best, but I don't think I have enough. Maybe I have enough of it. Maybe it's a twin sheet. I don't know how big this is, but I have enough fabric that it should be enough. But as you can see, it's kind of see-through, so I need to do an underlayer, which is where this gigantic bin of stuff comes in. This is full of sewing things that I've just accumulated over the years, and I'm thinking I can do an underlayer of either white, because it's kind of see-through, so I don't want it to be too dark. So I could do a white. I have a couple different whites. This one would be good as an underlayer because it's kind of like extra see-through, but I think I have a slippery one that would work well as like a lining. I think I might only have this much of the sheet left, but this is enough to make a bodice. So I think I'm gonna make a test bodice because I'm also scared that this isn't gonna work, but I'm gonna cut into my brand new super nice thing and use some of the stuff that I kind of need. So I'm gonna make basically another sample bodice of my lining fabric, and if that works, then I'll take it apart again and then trace this bodice pattern onto my better fabric, and then I can sew them together and it'll work out swell. It'll be perfect. I don't know why this is so intimidating. I know once I do this once it'll be better, so I'm documenting it to force myself to do it. So let's get to pattern tracing, shall we? Oh no, don't you dare. Moment of truth. Yeah, in theory I like it. Okay, let's try it. I'm not gonna show you it right now, but I do like it. I think it looks good. Also, it's the weirdest angle I possibly could do. That one's really cute. I like that one. hello people. So as you saw, I just did some reading in the book. I'm liking these a lot. They're really cute. I was thinking they'd be more like tall tales, but I guess that is kind of a different thing. I thought it would be more like Paul Bunyan and The Legend of Sleepy Hollow, but no, they really are reading like fairy tales, and I like that a lot. They're very interesting. I think I'm about a little less than halfway through the book, and I'll finish them really quickly. Every time I sit down and I read a couple, it takes me like 5 minutes or so to read one because they're not very long. I'll probably finish this one at the latest day after 4th of July, which here we're also doing 4th of July celebrations the day after 4th of July. We're having like a big community potluck kind of a thing, so that'll be fun. All right, now to my dress. I can't try it on for you yet because it still doesn't have sleeves and it's not quite modest, but it's looking okay. It looks stupid from this angle, but it looks really nice on. And now the next thing I need to do is figure out the sleeves. Sleeves scare me beyond everything else. I don't know why. They're really not that hard. And like, I'm making them so I can make a pattern, make sure it works, and then I can cut it out of the good fabric. Like, I don't need to stress out as much as I'm stressing out, but I'm stressing out a ton. I also need to fix this part right here because I sewed it too much and then I tried to fix it and I look stupid, so need to fix that. But other than that, it's going pretty smoothly. It fits well. I think the thing that I need to do next is add a little bit of elastic to the back of it or just into the waist. I'm not quite sure how I do that yet. I need to check a dress that I have that does have elastic in the waist and see how they incorporate it to make it fit, because I'm not quite sure yet how to do that, but we'll figure it out. I have trial and error on my side. I've already cut out part of the skirt because the bedsheet that I was using had a nice hem, and I didn't want to accidentally cut into the part that would be the skirt, so I already cut off the part that's at least one of the tiers of the skirt. And I'm debating whether I want to add trimming to it because I have a darker blue, but I think that would be too dark for this. I think if it was the same light blue color it would work, or just slightly lighter. And I think I do have a color that's similar to that, but I think I just want to go pinstripe. I think I just want it to be this the whole way because that'd be really cute. I think the neckline's okay. It works all right. It's a little large, but that's okay. It's my first time making a neckline. I'm kind of procrastinating because I don't want to do the sleeves. Sleeves scare me. Hi people, good morning. I did not film much of me sewing yesterday because it was literally like 7 hours of me sewing the sleeve, undoing the sleeve, redoing the sleeve, finding something to fix, redoing that, pinning it wrong, repinning it. It took me so long. I don't know why sleeves are my nemesis, but they are. But I'm done with the sleeves. I've never been happier in my life. I still have one thing to do because they stick out a little bit, and I was trying to figure out how in the world to make them less and more like that, like they fit towards the arm more, because I didn't want to just like add a gather because the edge looks nice. So I didn't want to just like ruin it that way essentially. But I was dreaming and I remembered that elastic is a thing that exists. And by dreaming, I mean it was like right before I fell asleep. So I can just take a piece of elastic, insert it inside this channel, and then it'll just zoop and then make it fit my arm better and look nice. The rest of it looks really good. Like, it looks really nice on me. It fits well. It is a little wide in the collarbones. I think one side is a bit longer than the other accidentally. What can you do? I really want to add like white trimming around the top and the edges of the sleeves. I think that would be really cute, but I don't think I have time because my first thing, today's the 4th of July. Like, it's straight up the 4th of July. And as you can see, it is 10 in the morning. I got like 8-ish hours of sleep. I'm feeling okay-ish, but I'm also like exhausted because I think I'm like a teensy tiny bit sick because like I'm congested, but it could also just be allergies. But either way, I feel tiny little bit sick, which is not fun, but that's okay. We can deal with it because I'm not dying, but I still feel a tiny bit sick. So I think I'm going to not do exercise today to not stress out my body. Oh yeah, the reason why 10 o'clock matters is because my first 4th of July thing is at 1 o'clock today, which means that this dress needs to be finished at the very latest by like 12, which is 2 hours from now. So everything we have to do next is actually pretty easy. It's just long. It's just a long process. So last night, after doing the sleeves, I spent an hour or so, only an hour. This literally only took me an hour. That's insane. Making an underskirt. From this angle, it looks stupid, but it's gonna work. It's wide, so we're gonna ruche it into the top of the dress. And then at the top of the dress, I'm going to have elastic at the back, so it's like cinched at the back. The front looks nice. It'll like pull it and make it look good. This is the underskirt, so it's not see-through. And the actual skirt on the dress is gonna be a little bit more ruffled than this, and the tier isn't gonna be longer at the top and shorter at the bottom. It's actually gonna be shorter at the top, longer at the bottom. It's gonna be like double the fluffiness that this one is. But this one's just an underskirt, so I didn't want it to be as fluffy as a top skirt because I didn't want it to like fly out with it. I want, in case like a wind or something comes along, the underskirt stays down and the top can move a little bit. Anyway, that probably made no sense, but I did a ton of math yesterday. I was like measuring myself, measuring the length, measuring where I wanted it to be, and I did all the math and I figured it out. It's probably wrong, but you know, at this point, I just need a dress. Like, it doesn't matter if it's a tea-length dress or a knee-length dress, it just needs to be a dress. So hopefully it looks nice no matter what. But literally the last thing I have to do is I need to cut out the top part for the overskirt in the nice fabric, because this is my practice, so I know it works. After I cut out the nice part, I need to ruche the bottom, add it to the top. I've been finishing all my edges because I don't have a serger, I just have my actual machine. So I've been finishing all the edges with just a regular old zigzag stitch along the edges. So they're not like the prettiest in the world, but they should keep it from fraying. So I need to do that on all edges because I'm pretty sure I did it all in all the parts of the bodice, but I need to do that in all parts of the skirts. And then if I have time, I can do white ruffles around it. Only if I have time, because I don't think it's gonna take that long. I think I might actually have time for ruffles. But I also need a fabric that matches the same white of this. It doesn't have to be the same white, it needs to be close though. So I really don't have that much to do. Ruffles will take me hours because it's just cutting out a long strip, folding it over, ironing it, and then adding it into the parts. But if I'm gonna do ruffles, I have to do them when I do the skirt because they're gonna be in between each layer, like outside, and I don't wanna have to unpick everything again and do this over again. Because I think eventually, like ultimately I'm going to add the ruffles everywhere. I just have to know when I'm gonna do it. This is so much work. But first things first, skirt, elastic around edges, it's gonna work. It's gonna work, I promise. Just, it might take forever. Anyway, update on the book. Also, I just woke up. That's why my hair is all crazy. I figured I'll just take a shower right before I put on the dress because then I just have to change clothes once, or maybe in the middle when I need a break. But anyway, I'm a mess currently. Also got sunburned yesterday, so love that for me. Anyway, I have read quite a bit more of this book. I was at my boyfriend's family thing yesterday and they were all just sitting around on their phones, so I didn't feel bad about reading my book. So I'm about this far in. I've read quite a few of these little stories, and the more that I read, the more that I like them. I wasn't expecting them to be so fairy tale like, oh, I literally only have a little bit more. I only have 1.5 more stories in here. I can finish that easy today. I was thinking it was going to take me longer because reading just 2 stories took me longer than I thought it was going to, but no, it's really short. And then I can give it to my parents because I was telling them about this book and I was like, it'd be fun for you to read these to the kids like on the 4th of July. So hopefully I can finish it and then let them read some stuff, because there was a couple that was really funny. I really liked one called What They Did Not Do on the Birthday of Jacob Abbott B. And in this short story, it talks about this person whose name is Snibbuggly Boozledum's birthday. And it talks about all the things they would have done for his birthday if they remembered. And it's basically just describing the 4th of July. So I'm guessing, and all like the pictures are showing like kids and stuff holding the flag and stuff like that. So it's talking about like what they should have done for his birthday, but I guess they forgot and they did it the next day. It's pretty funny. And at the end of it, it says, and then this part really did happen. Everybody went to bed and to sleep just as if it'd been any common day. And then the next one's also really funny. It's called The Bee Man of Orne, and it has the story of this guy who lives in a hut and he's surrounded by bees. He's super happy. He loves his bees. He just eats his honeycomb, and if he ever needs anything else, he trades his honeycomb for something else. And he's just super happy. And this wizard comes along and he's like, hey, you've been transformed. Like, you weren't initially this thing. You've been transformed from something else to this. And the guy's obviously like, well, I guess if I've been transformed, I should go find what my original form was. And so he goes and tries to find his original form, and he looks at all these things. And then eventually he realizes, I was a baby once. I need to be transformed into back what I was initially. The wizard is like, oh, all right, I can do that for you. And he turns him back into a baby. And then this person he met along his travels is like, sure, I can take care of you along with my own child that you saved. And so he's raised up to a baby again. And then years later, the wizard's going along and he sees the hut full of bees. And he goes in and he realizes that the bee man that got turned to a baby had turned back into a bee man, and he was just as happy as contented as ever. And then there's ones that just sound like traditional fairy tales. Like there's one called The Princess Who Could Not Dance, and there's one called Rosie's Journey. And they just sound like traditional fairy stories that I read growing up. It's really interesting and I like it a lot. It's a different book than I thought it was going to be, but I am liking it. Highly recommend this if you like fairy tales. It's cool. I'm liking it. All right, done with procrastinating. Time to make a skirt, make a wearable dress. I know you haven't even seen it on me yet. That's because it is not modest. I cannot wear it yet. Once it looks nice, I'll put it on. And if it ends up looking terrible, I've told myself I don't have to wear it if it looks terrible. This is just an exercise in figuring out how to do sleeves. Because I hate sleeves. I have a dress that I've been altering for like 2 years now, as in I realized that the reason I hated it was the sleeves. I took the sleeves off and then I realized I don't know how to make sleeves, and then I just procrastinated for years. So now that I have this, I can probably fix that dress and make it wearable. And I have like 14 things in my closet that I don't wear because they're like the wrong size on my body, but if I alter them so they fit me better and I gave them short sleeves, I'd probably wear them. So now I can go do that. I just have to do it, which is the hardest part of any of this. So anyway, let's finish this thing, shall we? I just visited Joann's, which is my mom's closet, and I got some elastic that'll fit in the cuffs. And then I also got this new sheet, which matches perfectly, and it's the right like texture for ruffles. And then my mom was also like, wait, if you're doing ruffles, you need a rotary mat. And I have a rotary cutter in that basket somewhere. So I have a mat and I have a ruler. It's not like the right ruler, but whatever, it's fine, doesn't matter. My room is such a mess currently because every time I do sewing on a deadline, it just stacks up. Like I did my laundry yesterday and I haven't put it away yet. And my desk is just a mess. It's fine. At least my bed's fixed. Guys, guess what I did? I am attaching the skirt to the top again because I did it the wrong way. I'm so grumpy. I was so ready. It's 1:15 right now. I finished it at 1:02 and I was like, lovely, I'm done. I'm gonna get out of here. It's gonna be ready. I was despairing of being done in time for my first thing. Even though there's no like due deadline, like I really don't need to be stressing out about this, but I am stressing out about this. I was despairing of being done. Then I was like, wait a second, I can just turn it into a top. I can wear it as a top. I can add the first ruffle of the skirt, not like the whole underskirt and everything. I'll do that for tomorrow and wear it to church. But I was like, I can get it wearable for today. And I'll be more comfortable wearing shorts anyway because we're going to be doing stuff outside and probably walking around. And I honestly don't want to be wearing a dress all day. So I'm fine with wearing just the shirt part of it. But I put it on not pretty sides together. I put it on just, I don't even know how I did it. I don't know what my brain was doing, but I was like stressing out. And then I sewed it all together wrong. And then I turned it inside out like, haha, I'm done. I'm going to try it on. It was wrong. It was all wrong. And now I'm honestly so grumpy right now because I was going to be on time. And now I'm going to be like at least half an hour late, if not more. And I'm so annoyed with myself, but that's okay. I think it's going to be not exactly what I was picturing, but I told myself that if I put it on and I don't like it, I made it. So I can deconstruct it and I can make it better. And it's literally so easy to add more length into a skirt, more ruffle stuff. It's not that hard at all. So I can adjust it no matter how much I hate it. I can adjust it. I can make it look good. Unless it's like I have to add more fabric. And even then I can do that because I have more fabric. But it's cute. It's looking so cute. I added the white ruffle in the bottom of the first tier. I honestly thought I might have time to add it around the sleeves. I don't have time to add it around the sleeves. Remind me next year not to make the dress starting like 3 days before. That's just a recipe for all kinds of disaster. I have to start at the beginning of June. June, I tell you. I'm listening to the Infant Skiz podcast though, and that's honestly giving me the only amount of motivation I have to continue this project. I'm ready to scream. I made this. I created this and I think it looks stupid. It needs elastic in here so it's more pinched in because right now it's a box despite my best efforts. This is why it is so hard to have my body shape because no matter what I do, it looks stupid. The sleeves are fine, but it needs the ruffle. Everything needs the ruffle. It needs the ruffle here, it needs the ruffle here, it needs it here and here. I don't have time to fix this. I don't care anymore. We're putting on something else. I am so annoyed that I wasted my day doing this, but that's okay. All right, here's my final 4th of July outfit. We got shorts that are kind of whitewashed, red ribbon in my hair, blue shirt. It's cute. I probably like this more than I would have liked wearing that. Oh well, what can we do? What can we do? Let's go have a fun day and finish that dress at a different time because I'm so tired. There it is. No, I think that's just actually a fire. Maybe. Oh, yeah, that's definitely it.
I thought it wasn't a big explosion like last. It was just kind of...
Whoa.
Bright.
Yeah.
It's illuminating the whole sky.
Whoa!
Whoa!
That's crazy. That is definitely the jet fuel.
That was intense.
That was pretty crazy.
That was awesome.
I'm glad I got my camera out.
I'm glad they gave us a bit of a warning before the big explosion happened.
One year they didn't do that, and everyone was so confused. Well, that was fun. Happy 4th, everyone. All right, we have come to the end of this video. It is a couple days later. It is now July 6th. I kind of got sick. I'm still kind of a little bit sick, but it's not like where I'm feeling the worst I've ever felt. It's like whenever I try to do something, I'm like, I don't feel good. And then I'll lay down and I'm like, I'm bored. I'm sick of laying around. And then I'll get up and then I'll be like, I don't feel good. It's really annoying, but I'm feeling a little better today. Yesterday was pretty terrible, but today's all right. So, in conclusion about this book, I did end up liking it quite a lot. It was really interesting to see the stories really did sound like fairy stories. And in his conclusion, he kind of talks about how as the stories go on, you can see that they become more and more Americanized, where they have this sense of the American dream, and he kind of pulls his ideas about each of the stories. It was very interesting. I kind of skimmed over the ending conclusion part because I was at a party and I was a little stressed out and I didn't really want to think about an essay at the moment, but it was interesting. He set up the book where each story is in like chronological order of when it was written. So the very first one is Rip Van Winkle, and then it ends in like 1922. It's about 100 years of stories in this book. It's very interesting. It kind of sees how people's perspectives of America kind of shifts with the times. So anyway, I really recommend this if you like, I don't know, fairy stories. It's an interesting, it's less of a glorifying America book than I thought it was going to be. It's very much just this is how fairy tales changed in America over the years, and it's very interesting. I'm also a nerd about fairy tales, so that's probably why I liked it so much. But this was a very interesting book. It did help me a lot to be reading it around a holiday, because every time a holiday pops up, especially now that I'm an adult, my brain goes, if I'm not enjoying this holiday, then what is the point? And I get all stressed out about it, which makes me enjoy it less. But every time I include something that helps me like slow down and think about the holiday in general, it really helps. So like that book really helped. Something that didn't help me slow down and enjoy the holiday was this stupid dress that I failed to make. Yes, you heard me right, failed. I gave up. It looks fine like this, but it's so boxy. You saw the clip. It looks so silly. But as I was thinking about this, I was like, you know what? Why in the world did I expect to have a slam dunk of the first time ever making my own piece of clothing? Like, I gave myself 3 days to make a full-fledged dress that has a lining. I made my own pattern. I was altering my own pattern. I was figuring out my sewing machine. I was figuring out everything else all by myself. I was doing this all by myself. Why in the world did I expect to do this right the first time? So you know what? I did a great job. Look, I have sleeves that I made that also have elastic, and they look cute on me. I have a neckline that I made that it's a little funky, but you know, it works, it's fine. And my pattern that I made looks nice and it fits me perfectly. The bottom ruffle would look really good if I'd managed to get the elastic in time. I think it would have been great. I think honestly I could have worn this as is if I just had managed to get the elastic in time, but I didn't, and that's okay. I think what I'm gonna end up doing is I am going to end up taking this apart yet again. I think I'm gonna keep the top as is. Maybe I'll add another section of fabric in here and then add elastic in so it's ruched, just fits me better in the back, because it is a little bit tight getting it on and off because I made it to literally fit my exact measurements. And then I'm going to maybe add like a waistband at the bottom that's elasticy, and so I can add more skirt to it, and then it'll kind of expand with me also. And then I like these ruffles on the edges. I think it looks really cute. I want to add the ruffles to the sleeves. I want to add the ruffles to the top of it, and then maybe some buttons down the front or something. I think I can make this really cute if I just put it in a bin, forget about it for a little bit, and come back to it with a clear mind, because I am tired. But I did a good job. Like, I honestly did a great job. And even though I couldn't wear it on the day of, I'm not going to count that as a failure, because I did so good. I did so good for a first try. So in conclusion, try something new. Do something fun with your day. Do something that makes you enjoy holidays a little bit more, and read some good books. And I will see you in the next video, which will be at some point. I'm sorry I didn't like actually finish this thing in this video, but I just got to the point where like, if I tried really hard to finish this, I would burn myself out and I'd start hating this dress. And I want to like it. Like, I really like this top part. I think it looks so cute. It's this bottom ruffle that looks really stupid. So we'll figure it out. We'll get it working at some point. I'll probably put it in a video. My sister reminded me that I could wear it to Pioneer Day, and I was like, wait, you're so right, this would be so cute on Pioneer Day. So I might try to finish it within like 20 days and then get it ready for Pioneer Day, which I think I can do. Like, I'm in the finishing stretch at this point. Like, anything else I add is just gonna make it look better. But I will see you in my next video, which I don't know exactly when that's gonna be, but at some point. And also, hello to the new people. I know there's like 4 new people since I made my last video, so hello, greetings. Anyway, I will see you at some point.